begin. Today, we are giving you general English classes for various competitive exams, Staff Selection Commission, banking examination, as well as State Public Service Commission examinations. And today's portion is Subject-Verb Agreement. And this area is asked in various fillers, error detection, sentence improvement, etc. in various competitive exams. Then what about subject-verb agreement? The subject of a sentence may be either a noun or pronoun. Sometimes that may be a gerund or present participle. And we should see a noun or pronoun is generally comes as the subject of the sentence. And the verb used on that sentence must always agree with the subject. There are certain specific rules for the use of subject and verb in a sentence. In any sentence, this concord or this harmony is very important. And here, in the part first of this video, we are giving some rules regarding subject-verb agreement. What are the important points to be noted in connection with the subject-verb agreement? And the first and the most important one is that a singular subject takes a singular verb. That is important. And a plural subject takes a plural verb. If the subject is singular, the verb should also be singular. If the subject is plural, the verb should be plural. For example, see one example, the quality of mangoes was not good. Listen to this sentence. Here, the actual subject is the quality of mangoes, not the subject is mangoes. The actual subject is the quality. And here, listen, the word quality is an abstract noun and it is what? Singular. And automatically, the verb of the sentence should also be in singular form. The quality of mangoes was not good, was is singular. The quality of mangoes, here the quality is the main subject and therefore the subject quality agrees with the verb was. Both subject and verb are here singular. And this is the most important point to be noted. For example, Rama goes to school. Here, Rama is singular and the verb goes is singular. In present tense, a verb that takes yes or es form is generally singular. Rama is singular, Rama goes to school, and that is right. Sita goes to school. Rama and Sita go to school because here subject consists of two persons, Rama and Sita, and that is why the verb will be changed into go. That is without s or es, that is plural. And this is the first rule. A singular subject must take a singular verb and a plural subject must take a plural verb. That should be noted. Therefore, in a question, in connection with error detection or along with the sentence improvement, the first of all we should see what is the subject and see whether that subject is singular or plural. If the subject is singular, automatically see the verb is singular. If the subject is plural, the verb should be plural. If there is disagreement between the subject and verb, that error is called error of proximity. Therefore, while error detection, our first duty or our first point is to be given to the agreement between subject and verb, or to trace out whether there is error of proximity. And the first point I have discussed. Then we can go to the second rule. The second rule is that when two subjects are joined with the and, the connector and, when two subjects are joined with the and, generally the verb should be plural. The point is that when two subjects, whether that may be singular or plural, that two subjects are connected with the and, then automatically the verb will become plural. For example, knowledge. This is one subject, and we use the connector and. Second subject is wisdom. Knowledge and wisdom dash no connection. This is the question in several examinations, whether we will use has or have. See, knowledge is S1, subject 1, wisdom is subject 2, and both are connected with what? And the options given are has or have. Has, that ends in S, and that is why we can make sure that it is singular. But have is what? Plural. When two subjects are joined with the help of and, the verb should be plural, and that is why we will select have as the answer. Knowledge and wisdom have no connection. And therefore, once more, when two subjects are joined with the help of and, the verb is generally plural. But yet another example we can say water and fire. Water and fire dash not agree. See, water is one subject, fire is yet another subject. Does not agree, the option do or does. We will look water subject 1, fire subject 2, both are joined with the help of and, automatically the verb should be plural. In the given option, do is plural, does, it ends in S, and therefore it is singular, and the correct option is do. Water and fire do not agree. And therefore, here the general rule is that when two subjects are joined with the help of and, generally the verb should be plural. Generally the verb is plural. There is an exception to this rule. See what is the exception in this regard. See, when two subjects, remember, when two subjects are joined or connected with the help of and, generally the verb is plural. We have already mentioned it. But when these two subjects refer to same idea or same person, remember the verb should be singular. When two subjects are joined with the help of and they refer to same idea or same person, automatically the verb should be singular. We can take an example. First one, bread and butter. bread and butter is his only food. This is the example. You know, here the bread subject 1, butter subject 2. Both are connected with the help of and, even though the verb used is. Why it is so? Bread and butter is the same idea. How this become the same idea? How can we trace out that whether the two subjects joined by and is indicating the same idea? You see, when two subjects are joined with the help of and they became inseparable, the verb should be singular. Here, when we combine bread and butter, they are inseparable. They will become, or these two subjects will become one thing. For food, bread and butter, it is a combination. And therefore, we will use the singular verb is. Bread and butter is his only food. Yet another example, rice and curry. That is a combination. Rice and curry is the staple food of Keralites. On that sentence also, we use the verb is. In the case of persons, we will see the secretary and treasurer of the company is an advocate. See this example. The secretary and treasurer of the company is an advocate. Here, the secretary, subject 1. Second, treasurer, subject 2. They are combined with the help of and. The verb is what? Here singular. Why it is singular? How can we identify two persons combined with the help of and is singular? See, when before the two subjects we use articles. Before the two subjects we use articles, or before the two subjects we use possessives, the verb should be plural. The subject should be plural, verb should be plural. See, when we use articles before the two subjects, before both the subjects we should use articles, or before both the subjects we should use possessives. Then only the subject can be taken as plural and the verb should be plural. In this case, the article is used only before the first subject, and before the second subject there is no article, and therefore the secretary and treasurer can be the same person, one person, and therefore we use the singular verb is. But if the sentence is modified as the secretary and the treasurer of the company, and then the verb will be automatically changed into are. Why? Articles are used before both the subjects, then the verb will become plural. Yet another example, my father and my uncle. My father and my uncle have come. This is correct. My is possessive. My here also possessive. Possessives are used before the subject uncle and the father. Both are different persons, and therefore we use the plural verb have. But if this sentence is rewritten as my father and guardian, my father and guardian, then we will use only has come. Here, possessive is used only before the first subject and the second subject is used without the possessive, and therefore this is singular. Father is the guardian and guardian is the father. Both are same and we use the singular verb has. And in this case, we have told only two rules and their exceptions. First one, a singular subject must take a singular verb, a plural subject must take a plural verb, and vice versa. Second, the connector and. When two subjects are joined with the help of and, the verb should be generally plural. But when we use articles or possessives before both the subjects and connected with the help of and, the verb should be plural. Otherwise, the verb should be singular. These are the first rules regarding subject-verb agreement, and the other rules we will discuss you in the next video class. Thank you, and you can ask any queries as comment in the comment box. Thank you very much.